Banana is one of the most important commercial tropical fruit traded. The preferred scientific name of banana is Musa L, while the international call it as plantain. Banana are giant perennial herbs which originated in Southeast Asia. They come in a variety of size and color when ripe, including red, purple, and yellow. The flower of the banana is known as banana blossom or banana heart. Kingdom of banana tree is plantain. Phylum of banana tree is Spermatophyta. General characteristic of Spermatophyta includes the plant has root, stem, leaves, and seed-bearing structures. They are land plant and produce seed. They have chlorophyll, hence will carry out photosynthesis. They have vascular tissue, which is xylem and phloem. Subphylum of banana tree is Endospermatophyta. They are flowering plants and are usually bisexual. Seeds are produced and enclosed in an ovary, which will further develop into a fruit. Xylem has tracheids, vessels, while phloem has companion cells. They exhibit double fertilization. For example of Endospermatophyta plant is grasses, herbs, cocoa, tea, and trees. Banana tree is classified under monocotyledon. Their seeds have embryo with one cotyledons that have relatively narrow leaves with parallel veins. The cross-section of the stem reveals vascular veins. There is no vascular cambium, hence no secondary growth occur. The example of monocotyledon plants which is maize, grass, sugarcanes, and coconuts. Order of banana tree is Zingiberales. Commonly called the gingers and bananas are well-defined monophyletic groups of 8 families including Marantaceae, Canaceae, Heliconaceae, Musaceae, and so on. It have an inferior ovary, leaves are penny-parallel, leaf and stem have diaphragm, air chambers, and host silica cells. Furthermore, it has superalveolar tipsy in which the two opposing halves of the blade are rolled along the longitudinal axis. Family of banana plant is Musaceae. It is large, often tree-like perennial herbs. It comprises 2 genera, which is Musa and Acetic. The leaves are alternate and very large. Genus of banana tree is Musa. It has fibrous adventitious root systems. The real stem is found underground called rhizomatous. They have perennial giant herbs with pseudostems formed by leaf shades. The most of the cultivated bananas are Musa acuminata. Musa babisiana is for the essential species, Musa paradisiaca for the hybrid Musa acuminata, and Musa babisiana. All edible bananas originate in whole or in part from Musa acuminata, which is native to the Malay Peninsula and adjacent regions. Musa babisiana is found from India eastwards to the tropical Pacific. Species of banana tree is Musa paradisiaca. Musa fruits are variable in size, shape, and color. They are generally elongate cylindrical, straight to strongly curved. The plantain or cooking banana is classified as Musa paradisiaca. Bananas have the complete Musa inflorescence, which is female flower, neutral flower which do not develop into fruit and fall off during bunch maturation, and a terminal milk bar. Since the banana is a monoecious plant, the flower is inflorescence that contains male flower at the tip and female flower behind. The female flowers are produced further up the stem and they produce the actual fruit without requiring fertilization. Reproduce asexual by producing suckers. A sucker is a shoot that develops from a lateral bud on the rhizome and emerges from the soil, usually near the parent plant. Banana are valuable source of B6, BC, and potassium. This unique tropical fruit, which is extremely high in potassium and yet low in salt, making it the perfect fruit for helping to beat blood pressure. Furthermore, it also has beta-carotene and vitamin A, which is ideal for women who are looking for younger skin. Bananas are very useful for those who suffer from constipation and diarrhea, as they can help to restore normal bowel action, helping to overcome the problem without resulting to laxatives. They have the capacity to change the bacteria in the intestines. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mazina Ziha, and the organism that I'll be presenting on is tomato. So the scientific name for tomato is actually Solanum lycopersicum. So now I'll elaborate more on the taxonomy of tomato. So first of all, the kingdom for tomato is Plantae, and actually Plantae includes all the plants. So some characteristic of Plantae is they reproduce sexually through vegetative propagation, they are autotroph, and they are mostly the multicellular eukaryotes. Next is the subkingdom for tomato. The subkingdom for tomato is Tracheobionta. Tracheobionta is also known as the vascular plant, and Tracheobionta is actually the subkingdom of plant that has vascular tissue such as xylem and phloem tissue. Next is the division of tomato plants, which is the Magnoliophyta. Magnoliophyta is also known as the angiosperm or flowering plants. And actually, Magnoliophyta is the only division that contains plants with true flowers and fruits that is used in reproduction. Moving on, the superdivision of tomato is Spermatophyta, or as known as the superdivision for seed plants. The plants under this superdivision reproduce via seeds. Next, the class for tomato is Magnoliopsida. Magnoliopsida consists of dicotyledon plants. Some characteristics of these plants is they reproduce through insect pollination and have high degree of plasticity in vegetative growth. The subclass for tomato is Asteridae. Asteridae is basically a group of mostly sympatellus herbs and some trees and shrubs mostly with two fused carpels. Moving on is the order of the tomato, which is the Solanaceae. Solanaceae, also known as the nightshade family, and it includes 100 genera and nearly 2,500 species. Some example or organisms under this order is potatoes, bell peppers, and eggplant. Next, tomato is situated under the Solanaceae family. The members of this family are usually annuals, biennials, or perennials. Some characteristics of the Solanaceae family are firstly, they have clustered flowers with sepals and petals. Secondly, they are composed of two fused carpels. And lastly, the flowers are conspicuous and are visited by insects. Next is the genus of the tomato, which is the Solanum. The members of Solanum genus is the woody nightshade and the black nightshade. These two nightshades are said to contain solanine, which is a toxic alkaloid that can cause convulsion or even death. In the early 70s, Linnaeus put tomato under the Solanum genus based on their characteristics, but in mid-70s, Philip Miller is against it and put under the Lycopersicum genus, as he thought that tomato is different than the other poisonous nightshade species. However, recent taxonomies has classified tomato under the Solanum genus based on its genetic information. Last but not least, tomato is also classified as Lycopersicum species. So next, I'll present on the life cycle of tomato plant. A tomato plant can live up to 6 months, and a complete life cycle of a tomato plant is about 6 to 8 months. Even so, tomato can live up to several years if kept safe. The seed germination is about 5 to 15 days long, and after tomato seeding, it takes 25 to 40 days to mature. The fruiting process starts after the 65 days, and the tomato can be harvested about 60 to 80 days after the seeding. Tomato is originated in America and covers more than 75% of North America. Nowadays, tomatoes are grown worldwide, both in greenhouse and farms. For the medical value of tomato, it is said that tomatoes are loaded with lycopene to protect them from ultraviolet rays of the sun, other than acting as an antioxidant to fight free radicals that can damage our cells. Lastly, tomato also helps in lowering our LDL level as well as blood pressure. So I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi everyone, so I'm going to explain you all about apple, also known as Malus domestica. So does anybody know about the taxonomy of apple? No, right? So today, together we will discover everything about apple. So what are the kingdom? What are the phylum? What are the class of apple? Together we discover. Okay, let's moving on to taxonomy of apple. First, we have kingdom, which is plantae. Plantae is a taxonomy group that include land plant and green algae. It includes multicellular, mostly autotroph eukaryote that conduct photosynthesis. Moving on to our next classification, we have phylum, that is Magnoliophyta. Magnoliophyta means flowering plants. It's easier because Magnoliophyta indicates that the class of plant is flowering plants. This is a picture of flowering plant. Before an apple is formed, this is the stage before it becomes an apple. Moving on to our next classification, we have the class of apple, which is Magnoliopsida. Magnoliopsida is a valid botanical name for a class of flowering plant which is thought to be the most primitive plant. In addition, Magnoliopsida class is actually a dicotyledonous plant. Hence, all dicot germinate producing two seed leaves for apple. Just now, I have mentioned that Magnoliopsida is a dicotyledon plant. What is meant by a dicotyledon plant? First, in the seed, there are two cotyledons. But in monocotyledon plant, there is only one cotyledon in the seeds. For the next one, the floral part of the flower is either 4 or 5, but in monocotyledon is only 3. For the leaf, in dicotyledon plant, there are net-like leaf veins, but in monocotyledon plant, there are only parallel leaf veins. In dicotyledon plant, the pollen grain has 3 pores, but in monocotyledon plant, the pollen grain only has 1 pore, or known as furrow. Then, the stem vascular bundle reach in the ring if the plant is dicotyledon, but in monocotyledon plant, the vascular bundle throughout stem ground tissue. So, in apple plant, the characteristic is same as dicotyledon plant as I mentioned just now. Moving forward to the other part, which is the order of the plant, which is roselles. Roselle is the order of dicotyledonous plant and containing 9 families, 261 genera and more than 7,700 species. And the well-known members of roselle is apple and strawberry. Moving on to our next classification of the apple, we have the family, which is the Rosaceae. How to pronounce it? The Rosaceae. The rose family of flowering plant, composed of 2,500 species in more than 90 genera. Then, the family is primarily found in North Temperate Zone and occurs in a wide variety of habitats. And now, we have some fruit that is under classification of this family, such as we have strawberries, we have plum, we have peach, and last but not least, we have also pear in this categories of family. Okay, now we have the genus of the apple, which is Malus. Malus is basically a genus of 30 to 55 species of small trees or shrub in the family of Rosaceae, and also known as eating apple, cooking apple, or other species of apple.
Okay guys, I think we have entered the last taxonomy of apple, which is the species, which is basically the Malus domestica, or also known as domestic apple. And last but not least, for the taxonomy, remember Aussie apple. Okay guys, now after we learn about the taxonomy of an apple, now we will go through about the habitat of apple trees. Okay, apple trees grow best with full sun in soil that is very deep, which is moist and well drained. Next, apple trees are extremely cold hardy and bloom later than any other fruiting trees because they prefer a temperature climate, allowing for winter dormancy. Winter dormancy is basically a period of time when growth and the development of the tree stop. This is because they grow most productively in northern zones within a latitudinal range from 35 to 50 degrees. And that's all I think for the habitat of apple trees that you need to know. Okay, look like we are entering the last part of the video, which is the benefit of apple. So the benefit of apple, first, they are very nutritious as they are low in calorie, so they can easily help you lose your weight. And next, they are lower your risk to have diabetes as they are very low in sugar, so they can be the main food for snacking. And last but not least, they have the prebiotic effect that can provide you healthier life. And so before I end my video, I would like to say an apple a day keep your doctor away. And that's all for me. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, I'm Aimi Sabrina binti Roslan. You can call me Aimi. So today I am going to explain some details about a cat. So, this is my cat. Her name is Kira. I will let you guys to know more about her. First of all, I am going to explain about her taxonomy. Her kingdom is Animalia. What is Animalia? Animalia is that one of the basic groups of living things that comprises either all the animals or all the multicellular animals. What are the characteristics of these organisms? These organisms are multicellular, eukaryotes, and without cell wall. That is why a cat is under Animalia. A cat is in the phylum Chordata, which means it has a hollow nerve cord. Other than that, it also has a backbone, like most of animals have in this phylum. So, what are the main characteristics of a chordata? First thing first, a chordata has a notochord. This is how a notochord looks like. So, what is the function of the notochord? The notochord provides both mechanical and signaling cues to the developing embryos. After that, a chordata also has a dorsal nerve cord. This is how a dorsal nerve cord looks like. So, what is the function of a dorsal nerve cord? A dorsal nerve cord provides skeletal support to the leg of the body. And then, after that, a chordata also has a pharyngeal slits. This is how pharyngeal slits looks like. So what is the function of this structure? These structures are used to filter food particles from the water. Last but not least, a chordata also has post-anal tail. This is how a post-anal tail looks like. What is the function of this structure? This tail help with balancing, crouching, and signaling when danger is near. So that is why a cat is put under phylum Chordata. We will move to the class of cats. So what is the class of cats? Class of cats is Mammalia. So what makes a cat a mammal? First, cats are vertebrate. Second, cats have mammary glands which they use to feed their live young. Okay. So for your information, cats are carnivora. What makes a cat a carnivora? So, unlike dogs and other omnivores, cats are true carnivores. They meet their nutritional needs by consuming other animals and have a higher protein requirement than many other mammals. The family for cats is Felidae. Felidae is the biological family of the cats. A member of this family is called Felis. Simply said, a cat is called Felis. The genus for a cat is Felis. Felis is a gene of small cats of the family Felidae. What are the characteristics of Felis species? First, they have high and wide skulls. Second, they have short jaws and narrow ears without any white spot on the back of the... Okay, now we have reached the last part of this taxonomy. So, the species of cats is Catus. Actually, the scientific name for cat is Felis catus. Felis is the genus while the Catus is the species. So, there are several characteristics for this kind of species. First, this kind of species are small in size. Second, they are relatively high intelligence. Third, they are social nature. We will go through a little bit about life cycle of a cat. So there are at least 5 life cycles of a normal cat. Stage 1, kittenhood. Stage 2, junior or adolescent. Stage 3, adulthood. Stage 4, mature cat. And the last stage, geriatric, or also known as senior cat. What is the habitats of cats? Domestic cats primarily live in areas of human habitation and are somewhat constrained into developed areas. There are several medical values of having a cat. First, they will lower your risk of heart disease. Second, they will reduce your stress and anxiety. Third, they can make you sleep better. Fourth, they will also make you more attractive, especially for women. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Putri Amira. For sure you already know about tomato, chili, cat, banana from my friend, right? So I want to tell you now about lemon. So what is this? This is actually the species of Citrus X lemon, or the genus called as Citrus L. Now is the time for me to explain about taxonomy of lemon plant. So basically, lemon plant is from the kingdom of Plantae. So what is Plantae actually? Plantae is actually the taxonomy of green plant and also green algae. So actually, lemon plant can be categorized under the subkingdom of Viridiplantae. What is actually Viridiplantae? Viridiplantae also known as green plant. Now we proceed with superdivision. So superdivision for lemon tree is embryophyte. So you can detect the word of embryo and sporophyte. Okay, so basically, how can these two words can combine? It's actually it's come from the innovation that we call as haplodiploidy, okay, which is the alternation of generation. Okay, so the division for the lemon tree is chrysophyte, which is the vascular plant. Okay. So how about the class? So the class is Magnoliopsida. The Magnoliopsida plant is usually consists of male gametophyte that have 3 nuclei. And then, for your information, Magnoliopsida usually undergoes insect pollination. Guys, have you ever heard about sapindles? What is sapindles? Sapindles is actually the order of dicotyledon plant that consists of a nice family and more than 5,700 species. So basically, all citrus can be classified under one family, which is called as not Rutaceae but Rutaceae. What is the habitat of lemon? Oh, the habitat of lemon usually you can found in the area of consists of good availability of water and fresh medium soil. Usually it's in the Asia, and you can find many lemon in Australia. So now I want to tell you regarding the life cycle of lemon tree. So after 2 to 5 years with planting the lemon tree, it will grow until it's from a bloom fragrant flower, and the tree will grow until 6 to 10 feet in height. And actually, for your information, the lifespan for the plant tree can goes over 50 years. But what if we take good care of the plant? The lemon plant can grow until over 100 years. For your information, lemon actually contain a high amount of vitamin C, soluble fiber, and also plant compound, which provide to us many benefits for our health. For example, this lemon actually help us to reduce our weight, reduce the risk of heart disease, anemia, kidney stone, and also prevent us from having cancer. I think that's all from me. Thank you. Have a nice day.